Is February 28th, 2022. And I was just thinking, when I go out to places in public, if I go up to if I'm a frequent customer somewhere and someone recognizes me, if it's a female working behind the counter somewhere, and let's say they're friendly, or they show that, let's say they actually show that they're interested in me in some way. Let's say if I had to ask them to if they want to come over to my place, there's a high probability that I've ran into a few that would, without any problem, actually desire that possibly. There's nothing wrong with that. But with me, from this perspective, there's a lot. Wait, hold on. I'm not lying. There are a lot of cute looking girls that wanted to be with me. Sometimes they're older than me by like 10 or 15 years older, and there's been times where there have been a chance of an exchange of me being able to invite them over without a hitch, without any problem. And I had to kind of like not not fall not not show too much complete interest in that right away, because um the issue is I have interest in, let's say, okay, here. If a guy has an interest in, let's say, a particular girl you grew up with, right? Let's say you screened them for 7 years, and then you got these other people who are falling for this stereotype is that, oh, the more that someone, there's this, uh, like, there's this large statistic that the more that someone knows another, that they become more of a problem or something. Now, there's some type of statistic about that where I don't believe in that bullshit, because I think that it's more than just the stereotype. That's like, you know, um, the cool thing to fall for believing, but yeah, it's setting up, like, let's say my software could save, or not just save, it could reduce the numbers of, let's say, a poor recovery rate for something, where it could be actually predicted of, where something may be working for a few people, and then the population grows, and then it could be like, I'm not going like a correction on something, a fix or something like that, where it would have that type of an impact on society in a highly beneficial way. Whereas, like, you got these people with this anxiety creating this like filter between me and this girl I grew up with, where it's like they don't realize, from those who, if let's say this girl was interested in me, right, and she was going up to people wanting to get my house address, and yet you got these other people who are saying these other things, like, and it's based off their judgment, fear, and anxiety. I'm not dating those people. I'm more interested in this girl. You see what I'm saying? So, okay, here. Now, they don't understand that when I'm out in public, if I go to a store, people do recognize me up north in the state that I live in. And as far back as when I was high school, people, I was a frequent customer at places. They recognize me. I see familiar faces there, that people who already know me. Okay, here. So, hold on a sec. How do I put this? Oh, yeah. I've had many glances from girls who showed interest in me. They probably would hop in bed with me. Right? I'm not saying who they are. They would, without a problem, like, be interested in coming over and, possibly spending the night with me without they trusted me in that type of exchange. But then it becomes a bit sketchy. Other than, let's say, if it is still questionable that this girl may not have interest in me. And okay, but see, when that, from my perspective, and I hope that she's able to see from the my perspective of what I'm about to explain, is that it's it draws a level of concern, not the fact of whereas I can see other people may not know that. Let's say if they knew that there's this girl that I'm interested in, right? And let's say they themselves was a female who would have no issue, coming over if let's say they wanted to be with me. Okay, let's say they wanted to be with me, and let's say they have a bunch of girls that they're girlfriends with, they talk about, and then let's say they would all agree that they would have no issue with being with me, right? But if they found out who this other girl was, they may think that there's something wrong with her decision not wanting to be with me. You see, it's like, and then that draws a level of concern. So I'm trying to, keep some space to be available for as soon as possible when, let's say, let's say the time becomes available, the space for me to be able to invite her over, and that was the time when she was interested in coming over. Because see, like I said, based off of the average, and she understands probability, average. She may not realize that there are other women who want to be with me. You see, so it's kind of like a waiting list that there are other people. I can't just stay focused on her in the real world if she's like, I mean, unless I know whether or not if she was truly interested in me. See, but like, because that's the wrong way to like handle that type of thing. It's just that it draws a level of, it's like there are women who would leave their husband to be with me. You see what I'm saying? They could have been married and had like a family of 5, and then they would, let's say, maybe visit someone like me on the weekends or something at first. And they would possibly even, try to get a house, and then eventually leave the other or something like that without creating they try to avoid a conflict. You see what I'm saying? That's the smart way to handle things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then it's like, okay, here. Yeah, I said enough about the search engine web app that I have, and she would be able to leave her job. You know what I'm saying? She wouldn't have to commute anymore. I'm trying to make her life easier. That's my goal. Even as far back as when I was a kid growing up, I was aiming towards, trying to make time available. Obviously, I was thinking about that the other night with, for instance, in the beginning of the micro documentary for Banksy's B movie, he says he was 14 years old when he started doing graffiti. I was 14 years old when I started doing web app development. Oh, well, web design. Okay, I gotta get off.